Hi folks, this comes right from my heart, in my car, to you. How does God respond to evil? Most think that he's going to deal with evil in one of two ways. Either in hell of eternal conscious torment, that evil and all those who follow evil will fry endlessly in torment for all eternity, or, as is becoming popular, instant annihilation. Both are very aggressive. Both are very violent. I will agree that the Bible does use violent language on the part of God when responding to evil. But the point is this: it uses this violent language symbolically. It's figures of speech. And the New Testament writers will take this violent language and subvert it and convert it into restoration. Let me show you how God deals with and has already dealt with evil. These two verses come from the book of Colossians, both from Paul, both in the same context. How does God deal with evil? Get ready for a shock. Colossians 2:15 says this: on the cross, having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross. God confronts evil by the cross. And notice the aggressive, violent language that he disarmed. He disarmed them. The evil, violent powers and authorities in the heavenly realms. It uses violent language, and it talks about the cross as an act of warfare. But when we go back a few verses earlier, we need to ask the question, is this language meant to be taken literally? When Jesus disarmed these evil spiritual powers by enduring violence from them on the cross, how did he triumph over them? And it's spelled out here in chapter 1 and verse 20 of the same book, Colossians 1:20. And through Jesus, listen, to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, making peace through his blood shed on the cross. What? Paul seems to speak out of both sides of his mouth. He talks about Jesus disarmed through an act of warfare on the cross. He disarmed these evil heavenly beings. And in the same breath, he says he made peace with them through that same blood on the cross. The Bible uses aggressive, violent language as a symbol of making peace. That's what the cross is about. It was peacemaking. Peacemaking. God responds to evil by being in his Son, because the previous verse says in verse 19, for God was pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him. God was in Christ on the cross, shed his blood. If you want to take that literally, if you want to take it a metaphor, regardless, Leviticus 17:11 says that life is in the blood. On the cross, Jesus endured and absorbed all evil could do. And he responded and he disarmed that evil by absorbing it into himself and making peace with those same evil powers, whether they are heavenly or earthly. I don't care. All things have been triumphed over through the cross by the blood life, by Jesus absorbing evil into himself and making peace with it. Now, evil may kick and scream against it, but it is finished, and it's just a matter of time. Resistance is futile. Love has won, and love will win. That's what happened on the cross. That's how God responds to evil. What a God. What a Jesus.